To talk about this movie is to talk about the very face of contemporary Hindi cinema as we now know it. This is not an exaggeration. Many major movie stars and filmmakers cannot stop gushing about the groundbreaking achievements of this film, a moment to be celebrated. Disagreeing with this sentiment might get you labeled wrong, anti-national, or if you're a woman, the worst insult that comes to the garden variety troll's mind, ugly. Grandiose, sprawling, expensive stories of powerful and power-hungry men with a side of bloodthirst and mania are the mainstay of the mainstream. As such, the term critic-proof swims to my prefrontal cortex, highly relevant in this moment. But as a verse from Bhagavad Gita reminds, in the very first frame of this film, Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, the duty must be carried out without the greed for a reward. Let us talk about Aditya Dhar's Dhurandhar, The Revenge, now in movie theaters. Hello, if you're new here and are generally interested in hearing a film critic speak, my name is Sacharita. Watch this video for a review, some recommendations, and feel free to browse on the channel when you're done. Here is a quick look at the trailer for today's film.
सबसे बड़ा सवाल, रहमान डकैत की मौत के बाद कौन बनेगा लियारी का बादशाह?
So before resuming the story in Karachi's Layari locality, where part 1 left off, we get to know a little bit about undercover spy Hamza. He is Jaskirat Singh Rangi, training to be an army officer, a dream he is forced to abandon to avenge his family. Multiple members have been murdered and brutally sexually assaulted by local powerful men over land disputes. In a stylized and controlled action sequence set elaborately within one house, Jaskirat goes on a killing rampage looking for his abducted sister. His fate is sealed. The point of no return has arrived too early. Within a few short scenes, you then find out why and how, instead of the death penalty, Jaskirat is recruited to the undercover Dhurandhar program. The year is 2002. Fast forward to 2009, Rahman Dakat is dead in Layari, and gradually Jaskirat, now known as Hamza, is preparing the kingdom for his taking. Chapter 2 begins.
आपने बतखें तो बड़ी सफेद पाल रखी है अपने फार्म हाउस में या बटक्स आर रियली वाइट
By the way, a film that does this sort of chapters very effectively is Ruben Ostlund's biting and hilarious Triangle of Sadness. Have you seen it? My favorite is the third chapter, The Island. In Dhurandhar, The Revenge, the complex Layari political climate is now easier to grasp. December, after all, was not that long ago. Our recollection is fresh. In effect, you have more time to observe and forge relationships with characters on the big screen. Ajay Sanyal, of course, remains a key celebrated presence. Even Manav Gohil, who plays his deputy, got a woo in my movie theater. Sanyal then proceeds to say, "We are men from birth till death, we have to fight." Both Sanyal and Jaskirat are the personification of this sentiment. This new India you've now heard about in each Aditya Dhar film. Very male, very angry, very ready to wage war. Everyone else is weak and incompetent. Sanyal also tells a broken and diminished Jaskirat, a convict on death row, that the fuel that's within him, which he accessed to take revenge for his brutalized family, that fuel can be sparked again. But by Sanyal alone. Hence, he ought to train to be a spy for the government. Perhaps someone better versed in the finer details of international humanitarian law may be able to comment on the ethics of the very basis of this origin story, because the film does not. So here's another recommendation. Brand new Oscar winner Michael B. Jordan starrer Just Mercy by Destin Daniel Cretton. Jordan plays a defense attorney representing poor black prisoners on death row. Great film.
हिंदुस्तानी काफिर का सर काटकर मुशर्रफ के दस्तरखान पर रखा था मेजर इकबाल ने.
Now, Dhar's film proceeds in a manner most predictable. A straightforward story full of gratuitous gore and violence, leading to a conclusion you saw coming from the very first time you set eyes on Arjun Rampal's character in part 1. On the way to getting there, the screenplay follows, nay, embraces, envelops, swallows whole every single cliche of the lone wolf, angry, invincible mega hero Indian cinema audience by now has become accustomed to. Multiple variations of "Tujhe itni aasani se nahi marne dunga," characters walking into dark rooms to see the enemy already waiting within, the crying helpless damsel. Such tropes also show up periodically. As such, despite the handy chapter breakdown, the nearly 4-hour-long runtime is torment.
You are still not ready for this.
Dhurandhar The Revenge is also not nearly as clever as part 1 in its attempt to hide its acquiescence to power. Prime Minister Modi is mentioned repeatedly. His televised speeches appear 4 or 5 times. Everyone from an old and weakened fictional Dawood Ibrahim to gangster/politician Atiq Ahmed stand-in, laments the power of the chaiwala and his political genius behind the demonetization scheme. The commentary and praise is so crude and simplistically force-fitted that the PM almost comes across as an operable figurine inserted into the larger narrative, while Sanya calmly calls the shots both in India and in Pakistan, including deciding who should be Pakistani PM, who the Baloch people must rebel against, and the elaborate ways in which Pakistani intelligence can perhaps lie to their people to save face. Perhaps the department working hardest in this film is the hair and makeup team. The team that made Gaurav Gera damn near unrecognizable in the last one, and this one again. Mashhoor Amrohi, grandson of Kamal Amrohi, looks a spitting image of Nawaz Sharif. Of course, R. Madhavan, Arjun Rampal, and others who show up to enhance this universe are very well cast and worked on to resemble the references. But of course, what you're watching isn't fact. This is not a documentary. A disclaimer does remind you, again, it's in the film.
खुदा कसम अब एक और हिंदुस्तानी सर काट कर मुरीद के मीनार से लटकाऊंगा.
Sean Durkin's Iron Claw comes to mind, a biography based on the Von Erich family of wrestlers. Hair and makeup excellence, starring Jeremy Allen White, Zac Efron, Harry Dickinson. Exemplary casting and makeup, they enable these actors to vanish into their roles. Great film. In Dhurandhar, Ranveer Singh, with a mane that doesn't quit, performs competently, even in redundant scenes like setting fire to redundant currency. Aditya Dhar's Easter eggs, Dawood Ibrahim's alleged house address in Karachi, Uzair Baloch's football match with a severed head, Tamma Tamma Loge underscoring a pivotal Sanjay Dutt scene, these are interesting to spot. A lone original Arijit Singh song, probably one of the last ones we might get in Hindi cinema in his voice, Phir Se, is just some beautiful work by Shashwat Sachdev and Irshad Kamil and Arijit. As a sum of its parts, however, the film remains unfazed propaganda. If a few more sequences of political speeches had shown up, it might have even crossed over into unintended parody. A major young Indian movie star, in his effusive praise of the film, tweeted that Dhurandhar the Revenge has many clap-trapping moments, a phrase Merriam-Webster describes as pretentious nonsense. Vocabulary.com suggests using the term when talking about overblown nonsense, and Wiktionary calls empty verbiage. The film is in theaters, if you'd like to go figure it out for yourself.
रो क्यों रहा है लाले? तूने सुना नहीं? जहाँ दर्द है, वहाँ मर्द है.
Before you leave, do subscribe to the channel for regular reviews and interviews. If your name is on my screen right now, that means you're a channel member. Thank you. And it also means that you have early access to my Project Hail Mary review featuring a special guest. Watch that here. As always, my name is Sacharita. Thank you for stopping by.